to kill a human being is a very serious matter. And so you cannot, no government, no responsible government can deny that people were killed, or when you have not conducted an investigation. And for the Nigerian army, and I'm going to appeal to the authorities to learn how to manage crisis so that you don't fuel tension in the country. This is not the first time. This is not the first time. In 2015, under the Muhammadu Buhari administration, soldiers killed civilians in Zaria. And what were we told? A traffic offense. They said some people blocked the road. The chief of army staff wanted to pass, through that road. And for that reason, soldiers were asked to kill those who were on the highway. Again, these were Shiites. So people say, the nuisance is too much. Whatever. And 7 people were alleged to have been killed by the army. According to them, according to the authorities, the Shiites wanted to assassinate the chief of army staff, General Tuko, Baratai. But what happened at the end of the day? In a commission of inquiry instituted by the Kaduna state government, it emerged that 347 people, mostly women and children, were killed, mowed down. And at the end of the day, no autopsy, no postmortem exercise. Their bodies were buried in an unmarked grave. Up to now, nobody has identified, nobody has exhumed the body for proper forensic examination. Nobody has come out to let us know who the family members are or the parents. Nobody has consoled the family member. It does not happen anywhere in the world. That is the highest crime against humanity. So when the Lekki incident happened, I wasn't going to, as Cap just said, there has to be a thorough investigation. And we have begun. We are setting up our own independent panel, having regard to the deniers, oozing out of, the seats of power. We are going to get to the root of the matter. Not just Lekki. We are coming out with facts and figures with respect to the entire killings in the country. But with respect to Lekki, people were shot at. Some of those young men and women have died. The facts will come out. And at that time, and that was why we made the statement, when the international community was being accused of, hasty comments and conclusions. We said, no, we hope the federal government of Nigeria will not be embarrassed colossally at the end of the day, at the end of the investigations. But please, let us insist, and you don't need to go and set up a judicial commission of inquiry. How many dead bodies are in Lagos? If you know other killings in the prisons, in the correctional center, Ikoyi Correctional Center, in Kirikiri Correctional Center, and we must now begin to interrogate. We must begin to ask questions. Why do we keep people in prison for years without trial, and you do not expect them to want to jump out of prison? Why do we send a big man to prison in what they call prison exchange? He doesn't get there. You ask some young men, you get big men and women, they don't get to the prison. You have young men to go and replace them. So please, let us take advantage of this unfortunate, this tragic situation to go back to the drawing table and reorganize our society. You cannot prevent riots, even in the most advanced country. In 2011, you have the Tottenham riots in the UK. There were riots, there was looting. And many cities in the UK. That night, London alone lost properties worth about £300 million. In the United States, over the protests over the brutal killing of a black man, George Floyd. There were riots in 140 cities in America. Billions of dollars were lost in terms of properties and assets. So you are going to have riots in countries where the rule of law is not allowed to be institutionalized. And that is what is going on. The NSAS campaign was totally unnecessary if the government are taking Nigerian people seriously.
about Nigeria, there are many things we can do. It's just that we are not ready today. The problem is sometimes what you can do will take a lot from you. That's why we shy away from them. We can do something about Nigeria. And sometimes we are focusing on doing too many things. Do you know if we do one thing well on good governance in Nigeria, it will have a domino effect. Let's take nationals. Let's just focus on, let's leave presidents. Let us face ministers, governors, members of the houses of assembly. Let's face these people. Let Nigerians occupy the whole government houses in the country. Peaceful demonstration. Before they will say, I'm calling for revolution. I'm not even calling for revolution. I'm coming for what? Demonstration. Let Nigerians march and say, from now forward, we want the salaries of our governors, ministers, senators, members of house to be the same with what teachers earn. Both salary, allowances, and bonus. Let us agree in Nigeria now to make a demonstration nationwide, close the country, and say they must pass a bill that ministers, whether it's Minister of Power, whether it's Minister of Finance, I don't care, ministers, senators, governors, members of the House, this set of people, that their allowance and bonus, car allowance, house allowance, it should be the same thing that teachers, let's even one of them, university teachers, receive. Do we need to belong to any political party to do this? No. Does it have to be a tribal thing? No. If all of us in Nigeria, this is the protest I want everybody to key into. And I'm waiting for those who are in the, who have the clout to organize protest. This is the one I want to be involved in. Make all of them receive the same money that our lecturers receive. Do you know what those things can do? Number one, it will make elections for these places I've mentioned now unattractive. Do you know that these people who enter this election, do you know that some of them borrow money? Because they know that only 1 month's salary will do what? These people are not affected by the economic condition of the country. So if you like, let's keep shouting change. It doesn't affect them. Whether Nigeria, whether crude oil is selling 20 naira, whether fuel is selling for 500 naira, it doesn't affect them because of their take-home package. So let us never think that these people will be carrying our matter in their head. No. Let's change their salary and allowance. First of all, people will no longer be struggling to go there to make money. Those who will go there are those who are ready to now work. And you will see the kind of laws they will make. Even the presidency will no longer be contentious as it is now because they know that their condition and our condition is going to be what? It's going to be the same. This is not a big theory. This is practical. I'm calling on Nigerians. Let's agree now that salaries of our senators, members of House, governors, and ministers should be the same with lecturers. And see whether Nigeria will not change. That's all we need. Instead of worrying about whether this will happen or that will happen, we can do something. Just one thing. Do it well. It will have a domino effect. So don't worry about something you can do something about.